everyone. This is Hurls. Joining me tonight is Impact Dude. Very excited. We have one of TNA/Impact Wrestling's most decorated superstars to ever grace the six-sided ring and the four-sided ring. He comes to us from New York. He's a former X Division champion, a former tag team champion. Also, he had the match of the year in 2006. Tonight, we are interviewing the one and only, the notorious 187, Homicide. Impact Dude, how excited are you to talk to Homicide?
Oh, I'm fucking homicidal over this one, man. I mean, this guy's a legend. This guy's a click magnet in Impact Wrestling. You're talking World Elite. You're talking LA freaking X. Heck, you're even talking the Beatdown Clan. This guy has been there. He's done that. He's seen it all. He's done it all. He's been a world champion in Ring of Honor. He held every belt. This guy is really, like you mentioned in the beginning, one of the top superstars to ever grace an Impact Wrestling ring. He did it in Impact Wrestling. He didn't do it somewhere else and then rest on the laurels. This is the real deal, and you're talking about an honest person, and he is going to tell you the way he sees it, no holds barred. Hurls, this is going to be a fantastic interview.
Oh, no doubt. I don't know what he's going to say, but I know it's going to be 100% raw and uncensored. Wherever he goes with it, he goes with it. But I'm super excited to talk to Homicide. So there's so many questions we got to get to, and I cannot wait to ask them. So without any further ado, let's bring on Notorious 187, Homicide.
You got a lot of guys of this new era that's really good. Like Sammy Callahan and his clique. I love their you could say characters, because he's not a character, but he's a villain. Then we got the international scene. You got people like Zack Sabre Jr., Marty Scurll. They're awesome. But I love the old school, man. I love the Bruiser Brody, Terry Funks. If you go to Japan, I love Liger. I love Sabu. If you want to talk about ECW, I love everybody, but I like when people makes professional wrestling be believable. Everybody knows the secrets. Everybody knows, but get some, show some respect. And a lot of these kids in this new era show no respect. So you just got to beat them up and show them this is the real deal.
Dude, somebody does need to kick a lot of their fucking asses. I'm not gonna lie. That's the biggest thing that's missing in wrestling today is these kids will not allow their asses to get kicked, and if they do, you can't do that. It's 2019. Now fuck you. Respect the business, son of a bitch. And I gotta tell you something. Abdullah the Butcher and Terry Funk, they terrified me when I was a kid. Fucking terrified my little ass. They were awesome.
Yeah, Abdullah used to scare the hell out of me, man. I used to have nightmares with Abdullah the Butcher. And it's funny because when I did a Ring of Honor show, the promoter was like, "You gonna team up with Abdullah?" Like, really? And I was like maybe 23 years old. I'm 42 right now. But I was a 23-year-old trying to, make a living for Ring of Honor back in the days. And when I teamed up with Abdullah, we go to the back. He was giving me some advice, and he passed me a fork. That's why I do the fork. It's almost like he passed the torch towards me. And I'm like, well, I'm going to start stabbing people with a fork and make them look good, Oh, yeah. But he used to scare the crap out of me when I was a kid, man. But now, these days, like, when it comes to, like, monsters, him and the Bruiser Brody, those guys are like King Kong and Godzilla. My hero is Terry Funk. That's like my hero, So there's a lot of guys back in the days that you be now these days it's like you don't be scared of nobody. That's like somebody come to a bar, picking for a fight. Maybe like those herbs from movies. Nah, I'm not into that. So I love the old school.
So like, what was your first memory of watching wrestling? Like, how did you get into it?
I was watching WrestleMania 4, and WrestleMania 2, and I was watching the Hart Foundation versus the British Bulldog, and I always remembered one of them hit Davey Boy with his head. It's like a weapon. And I remember I used to headbutt my cousins with my head. Like, I'm thinking it was real. So after that, I fell in love with it. I'm like, yo, the Heart Foundation, who's wearing pink at that time, and you got these two guys carrying a bulldog. I thought I could do this. After that, I was watching the WWF. Like, I was a Hulkamania. After Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan, I used to hate the Hulkamania. I hated it. So at the time, NWA came to our city, and I was going to a video store, and I got me a tape. It was Halloween Havoc, 89. And I remember it was the Fabulous Freebirds. To me, that was like the heels that people love. Out there, the small SWAT team, they killed somebody. I forget who it was. The Skyscrapers, they killed the Road Warriors. At the time, I'm like, man, nobody can do that to the Road Warriors. And they really beat the crap out of them. And I always remember it was the main event. It was Muta and Terry Funk versus Flair and Sting. And I used to hate Ric Flair at passion because he used to represent the rich. And I love Terry Funk because he represents the poor. So after that, I would start liking Terry Funk. But I was also thinking there's other wrestling promotions out there. It's not only the WWF. So, of course, I start watching the NWA, and I'm seeing people like Barry Windham, the Four Horsemen, Buzz Sawyer, Manny Fernandez. And like I say, Ric Flair, he was a rich man. And Terry Funk, who was a poor man, and Terry Funk was like a judge, and he was doing an interview with Ric Flair. He wanted a title shot, and Ric Flair was like, you better go back to Hollywood and do movies with Sylvester Stallone. I'm like, what a dick for saying that, you know. And Terry Funk was like, I just want to apologize. I was just joking around. Let me shake your hand. And after that, watch out for that left hook. And Terry kicked his ass. After that, I fell in love with Terry Funk. I was like, yo, forget about Hulkamania and Hulk Hogan. This is the guy. This guy's legit right here. And I thought NWA was more like the realistic and more amazing shows than the WWF, because WWF to me was a cartoon, and that's all we watched in New York. It was a bunch of cartoonists.
Yeah, I got that sense too. Like, NWA was way more into the hardcore stuff, you know, back then, and I can see, you know, that having such a big influence on your career just, you know, from watching it. But
yeah.
What wrestling school did you go to, and what? I mean, was it that moment that you wanted to be a wrestler after watching that?
Yeah, definitely, man. There was a school in Brooklyn, New York, and at the time, I did not know there was wrestling schools in New York. Only Johnny Ross, he had connects with the WWF. But there was this guy, his name is Pedro Rodriguez. He used to wrestle in Puerto Rico for WWC. And me and my friend, took me to this place, like a grocery store, but a wrestling gym inside. And I just fell in love. Like, what is this? There's a wrestling with, there was a bunch of like old school wrestlers from the neighborhood. We got two wrestlers in the international that comes to White Star and Bandito. They used to do Trevor wrestling. And it was really good. After that, the guy told me, yo, you want to join? Give me $25. Okay, I gave him $25, and the history was the rest. I became this character called the Land Terror. I hated it. It was a bootleg version of Sting and Undertaker mixed together, and it was horrible. And I did like 3, 4, 5 matches. My first match was March 5th of 1994. 3, 4 months, I was watching Cops. My boy was like, you need to change your character. I was like, what kind? Just be yourself.
So you were like 15 back then, right? You were actually 15 years old.
I was 17.
17?
I was young, 17, yeah. 17, I dropped out of high school and everything.
Wow.
Gangbanging. I did a lot of bad stuff. Then, my boy was telling me to be yourself. I didn't know what the hell that meant. Somebody just be a thug. So I want to call myself something. I was going to run for Homicide. I'm going to show Cops. I took the name. I was like, I'm going to use this for one show. One show became 25 years. And to be honest, I don't even like the name Homicide, but that's my moneymaker, so I'm not going to complain too much.
Wow. And then that kind of led you to start doing stuff with Jersey All Pro?
Yeah. Then I met Fat Frank with the promoter at the time, 1995. He did a promotion called the Northern States Wrestling Alliance or something like that. And it was in some hick town, New Jersey. And he liked my style because when ECW came around, it was a bunch of outlaws. And people just going crazy. At the time, the WWF mixed men want the big guys. I'm a 5'7", 5'8" guy. At the time, I'm like 200 pounds. There's no way I'm going to be signed for the WWF. So maybe I go to ECW. So I was doing a lot of hardcore stuff, and Fat Frank, like, yo, I want to use you. Because he used to book a lot of guys who was misfits who never got a chance. He gave me a break. After that, I was teaming up with this guy named Mike Stone. He passed away, rest in peace. And after that, took maybe a couple of months off. I was having a kid. And me and Fat Frank, the promoter, Jersey Pro United, he said, yo, I changed my name to this promotion. I want you to come through and work for me. And boom, that's what I did. I ever did my first ball wire match in '97, December '97. It was one of the first ball wire matches in New Jersey.
Wow. That's crazy. I would have thought for sure, like, ECW would have hit the barbed wire stuff first, but... Man.
I think the show did. I'm guessing that in the state of New Jersey, I think I was like maybe the third, the fourth guy in the history. But I know we was like one of those original guys who did the ball. It was a tag team ball wire match too. So, but ECW, they had Philadelphia on lock. Everything was in Philadelphia at the time. After that, they spread and they just traveled all over the world.
So I got to ask, like, it kind of seems like your goal was probably to get to ECW, correct? Like, you weren't really WWF or WCW. You seemed more on to ECW.
Yeah, my goal was really Japan. I love the style. I love Japan so much. I met this guy named Masahiro Chono. I love this character. He was like a Yakuza guy, and I love their style, and I wanted to go to New Japan or All Japan, but at the time, I felt very like, that's not going to happen, so let me stick with ECW, let me try to get into ECW, and it was hard, a lot of politicians, a lot of chaos, a lot of traveling, personal stuff. After that, I wanted to go to ECW. And at the time, I was hanging out with New Jack, and he was helping me out, give me some couple of ices, bring me into ECW. But ECW closed down. That's when basically Paul Heyman was like, I'm sorry, but we got to close down ECW. So I couldn't have a chance and go to ECW and perform. But instead, I stood in Jersey Pro for 2 more years, and that's when Ring of Honor came in.
Wow. So how'd you get connected with Ring of Honor?
Rob Feinstein, this guy, his name is Doug Jelly, and Gabe was the promoter. I was doing a match. I had a bad knee, and they just came up to me like, "Hey, we doing this promotion in Philadelphia. I want you to be part of it." So, all right, but you got to bring my boy. His name is Boogaloo. We do a tag team called the Natural Sinners. He was like, yeah, let's do it. And it might be 1 time, maybe 3 times, and let's see what happens. And I just got hooked up just like that. It was easy. Nobody knew that Ring of Honor would be very successful, and they did. Right now, they're still rolling, having national television. They're doing so good. They already did a show on MSG. So I'm happy I was one of the first guys in that company.
What was it like being at Ring of Honor there in the beginning? What was the atmosphere like? Could you tell they were trying to build something bigger, or was it just a typical startup?
I'm like a leader for my crew. My crew was New York, and at the time we didn't knew that it was gonna be big. So it was more like telling my New York crew, when we get into that locker room, I want you to have a lockdown. Don't let nobody come to you and take over. So we're going to take over this spot. And everybody from New Jersey, Philadelphia. But the funny part is that a lot of people from I was friends with New Jersey, especially Philadelphia. Trent Aston was the leader of the Philadelphia crew. But he had like comebacks all rough at the time. But after that, man, I'm just trying to tell my guys, like, don't let nobody try to take your spot. And we absolutely didn't knew that it was going to become real huge. After that, that's when Samoa Joe, CM Punk, American Dragon, people from LA, Chicago was coming. And that's when he was working even harder. But the cool thing about it, everybody was a team player. Everybody wanted to be a team. Nobody had no egos. Everybody was so good. The vibe was so good in the locker room. We just worked with each other to make the promotion even bigger.
And you had such a great rivalry with Steve Corino. How big did that help your career?
I'm very surprised because I never liked him. A lot of people say it's a work. Nah, man, I really didn't like that fool. His son, his name is Kobe Corino. He was at the time, he was like about 3 or 4. It's hard to explain, but he was cool. Like, of course, one day, like, I wanted to hurt him so bad, and I just saw. I think a vision of Kobe Corino. He was in the audience, and based on stuff I was doing, I think I was about to stab him with a fork in his eye. I smacked him and got him. He got deaf in one ear, But we had history that it was in Japan that we just made it to Ring of Honor, and I never liked them. Now we okay, but back then I never liked them. I didn't care about my career. It was all about respect. I'm not going to let nobody from his crew come to my city and try to disrespect me, because that's the thing. A lot of these guys, they're big, powerful guys that want to come to my circle and try to take over. It's almost like a bully. I used to be bullied, I snapped. So I felt like these guys was trying to bully me. And with their power and their bullshit political reasons, Steve Corino was one of them. But you get to know him, he's a really cool guy.
Do you think that might have been because he was like an ECW veteran and he may have had a bigger ego at the time, and you guys were just kind of building your own thing, and then he kind of comes in and, starts thinking, hey, I'm on ECW, so I got the bigger name. Was it something kind of like that?
I think it was, because a lot of people had these egos and becoming divas back then. Like I'm here, you better show some respect. Or they talk to a promoter like, well, you should not book this guy because he's trouble. And this and that. Like, come on, man, you shouldn't be like that. Like, example, for myself, a lot of people heard what I do. They call me the Snoop Dogg of Cypress Hills of professional wrestling. But when I take professional wrestling, I take it very seriously. I don't mess around with anything. And, of course, you don't take things serious. You always get in trouble. He's a bad example for all of us, talking crap behind people's back. And it gets to me, like, I'm going to get these guys. It was very bad back in the 90s. After that, everything just became cool. Everybody just broke in their silence and, hey, man, this is the reason why this happened. I'm like, all right, man, don't be a bitch. Just talk to me like a man, There's going to be no problems after that.
Right. And another big thing I remember was the whole CZW invasion.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this was so crazy because, like, fans were making videos on the internet, like, calling out the other fan base. Like, it got so personal. I didn't know if that was a work or a shoot or what, but I remember the fans were making, like, diss videos on Ring of Honor fans, and CZW fans would retaliate. That was crazy. I mean,
yeah,
I remember that.
I didn't like it because I had a lot of friends that come back to wrestling. One of my close friends is Trent Aston, and I didn't like it. Jim Cornette was one of them, always telling me like, "Yo, you need to be part of this." No, I'm not. I'm not part of nothing. They're always telling me just become this story, whatever it is. I did not like it because it's like I'm in the middle. I got two groups of guys I'm really close with, like all I want to do is make a lot of money and show the people that, the negative people. And I did not like it. And one day, I don't know what happened. I said, okay, I'm going to see how this is going to work. And my music played, and it felt like Stone Cold Steve Austin coming out MSG. So I was like, okay, this is cool, but I still don't like it. After that, it was a home run after that, but yeah, the fans, it was competition because CZW is Philadelphia, but Ring of Honor came in and there was Philadelphia. So it's almost like a territory kind of thing. Like, who's the real kings of Philly, I'm like, I don't care. I love Benjamin Franklin and Abraham Lincoln. Those are my guys. I don't care about your boy. And after that, we just made a lot of money with the two groups, and it came out very well in the end.
Now, the folks that you work with at Ring of Honor, I mean, you worked with literally the who's who of Ring of Honor history. Who was your favorite to work with? I mean, it's a who's who list.
Yeah, Trent Acid is always telling me, and it's crazy because tomorrow it'll be 9 years he passed away. And big shout out to Trent and his family, but Trent Acid is the number one guy. He's the one that told me, you got to come to the ECW arena and just, basically like an invasion. But it's not an invasion like a Ring of Honor or CCW. It's basically a homicide attack at Trent Acid. And if you look at the video on YouTube, man, like I came into that building and I beat up Trent Acid and gave him the cop killer. Of course, everybody was like, yo, this is a Ring of Honor and CCW kind of feud. It wasn't. It was a homicide and a Trent Acid feud. And after that, like, I invited to CZW to compete with Trent, and man, that was like one of my favorite CZW matches of all time when I wrestled Trent Acid. He's definitely my number one.
And I got to ask you, how special of a moment was it for you to finally win the Ring of Honor World Championship?
It's one of my biggest highlights of my career, man. Because I feel like a gangster, nobody. And when I won that belt, I feel like I'm one of those boys. I don't know if that makes sense. One of those guys, like a Samoa Joe, American Dragon, Staff Rollins, even though he's Tyler Black, whatever his name is. But I was part of that group because a lot of the times, like me and Julius Smoke, the Rock Brothers, we was like the Dudley Boys of ECW, the way they was. We was like that in our locker room. And I always wanted people like to look at me like I'm big. I inspire everybody. Like, I'm not this quitter. I just want that passion back to my play. And Samoa Joe was one of my close friends. Still was one of my close friends. He always supported me and everything, and telling me like, whatever you do, forget about the negative people and start talking about it. Just do your thing. And when I won that belt, I felt like I was one of the boys. But with respect. To me, that's me, man. That's my number one, I think, is respect.
Oh, that's cool. How did you get hooked up with TNA Wrestling at the time?
I think I was in Puerto Rico, and I was wrestling Conan and Mars Killings. What a combination, right? Mars Killings. I think they threw that cool or something like that. And I don't care how I get in trouble. I was smoking with Conan. I don't know if that makes sense. And he's telling me, like, yo, man, you're like mad real. I don't know what that means. But I was like, oh, okay, because Conan is a legend. We call him the Mexican Hulk Hogan. So, of course, he went through, like, a lot of politicians, whatever. And, he's a former gangbanger from Miami. So when I wrestled him, it was cool. We was hanging in a locker room, blazing and everything, and he was telling me, I'm doing this new project. I need to call you. This project is called the Latin American Exchange, and it's a company called Total Nonstop Action. And I'm like, I heard of them because Loki and Amazing Red told me about it. And she just let me know. And I always remember to this time, nobody does know this, that Mick Foley was the one helping me go to the WWE. And I was making like a decision, like which one I'm going to pick. So I picked TNA, I picked Conan. One day he told me, yo, that these guys going to call you, you're going to sign a contract, and we're going to beat up the Armstrong brothers. And after that, I went to Orlando. The first thing that happened, I was in a limo with Sting. I'm like, yo, this is real. Like, I'm in a limo with this dude. And after that, I went to their, I think it was Orlando, Florida, and I did a run and I beat up one of the All-Star brothers. And that's how LAX was born.
Wow. And then I just remember hearing that TNA was bringing you in, and at the time I really didn't watch a lot of Ring of Honor because of, you know, it wasn't on in a lot of markets, so you really had to do a lot of DVDs. You had to buy a lot of DVDs to watch Ring of Honor back then, but you know, I remember right when you came in with LAX, it was just like, man, this guy just gets it. And you know, joining up with Hernandez a little later, you guys were, I mean, you guys were mixing it in with everybody, and you were credible from the get-go.
Yeah, man, we fought everybody. A lot of people don't remember that. I mean, Beer Money, but of course, we had feuds with the Dudley Boys, who was Team 3D. And it was a great, we was like the NWA tag champions. We did a lot of work for that company. We had a lot of belts, and I always remember when Corner left to go to AAA Wrestling, I took over LAX, and I think it was like 3-4 years I had that name in my shoulders, and we made it more popular. And when I left, I went back to Ring of Honor, and that's when they Corner called me back saying, "I need a closure. So I want to bring in the new LAX." I said, "I got no problem with that." And after I brought two of my guys from New York City to be the new LAX, because they deserve to be the new LAX. And yeah, we just made a lot of money after that.
So I got to ask, I mean, you know, you were wrestling so many great tag teams. You mentioned it, Team 3D, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Beer Money. I mean, you guys, when you, the Motor City Machine Guns, I mean, you guys wrestled them all during that era, which was probably the best tag team era in TNA. I mean, arguably you can make a case for other eras, but to me that was just some great tag team matches. And man, I mean, from that era alone, like, what were some of your favorite moments, like, or matches?
From the TNA?
Yeah.
I would say there was a pay-per-view, I think it was in Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. It was Steel Cage. I wrestled AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels, and there was a part of the beginning of the match. I jumped up the cage, and it looked like a rap concert. I was really feeling it. You know, I was really hyped up because I knew that this could be a hell of a great match. And all of that, we're gonna beat these guys for the tag team titles. It was NWA. I think it was NWA or TNA, one of them. But yeah, that's like one of my favorite memories. Everybody thinks, I mean, that the Ultimate X match, that was the first ever tag team Ultimate X match against Chris and AJ. But I think that cage, to me, that cage was like the one. And that would stick to me, like, back in my head, like, that's the match that I love so much. And of course, the Dudley Boys, because I grew up watching Dudley Boys ECW, so it's kind of cool, you know, facing these guys, especially Bully Ray, Bubba Ray, whatever his name is right now. He gave me the respect that, you know, this little guy can play around. So it was kind of cool.
What was your favorite?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So what was your favorite tag team to work against in TNA?
Man, Ultimate good, man. My favorite, man. I'll be honest with you, Ultimate good. If I want to go fast paced, I think I will pick the modern machine guns. If I want to go stiff, blow to blow, it'll be Team 3D. Athletic wise, AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. Man, all of them are good. I never got to pick. All of them are great. Beer Money, to me, they're very underrated. Like, I'm hoping James Storms get signed for the WWE. Him and Bobby Roode get together. I hate the way they treat Bobby Roode. His business, I get it, but that man deserves so much better the way he is right now.
Now, back in the day, there was a young tag team in TNA went by the name of Generation Me. What did you think of them back then versus now?
Man, at first I was like, what kind of bullshit name is Generation Me? And they laughed. They laughed because there was a Young Bucks before.
Yep.
I didn't get it because I knew them for a long time. And when they came in, because at the time, I think it was Otaka and Naito. They came from New Japan with some kind of gimmick, and me, Samoa Joe, we was training them, for the American style wrestling, and the Young Bucks were there. And I always remember it was me and Otaka teaming up for that World Elite, whatever it's called, and we faced the Young Bucks, Generation Me, and I'm telling them, like, what kind of name is Generation Me? And they're like, she just laughed, like, I don't care, we're gonna make it look good. And I know that. And after that, they left, and I was talking to somebody, and I say, TNA's gonna be very mad that they left, that they're gonna blow up. Now they're like the president of a company, a multi-billion company now. I wonder if they're still thinking about that. Like, I sure let them get the Hodaka too. Hodaka, the Rainmaker, that's another one. Like, they let him go.
Yep.
I'm like, well, what's wrong with these guys, man? Like, they let these guys, they became, I think it's a good thing they left.
Yeah, it definitely helped their careers, no doubt.
I left because I was miserable. When Hogan came in, it was like WCW once again.
And I was going to kind of bring you to there, but I just remember you at Lockdown 07 when you guys wrestled Team 3D in the electrified steel cage. Now that match, you guys turned probably a strange gimmick match into something really good. I thought the match was great. I thought you guys did the best you could with, the crazy circumstances. But I just remember it was still a great match. I mean,
thank you. Of course, Vince Russo's idea. We already know Vince Russo's insane ideas, and it's supposed to be it's supposed to be like the FMW, but the explosions. Like when you touch the cage, like some kind of a lightning and an explosion, but they forgot the true cage, and they had no kind of like a cage. So basically, Vince Russo saying, we're going to make noises like a video game. I think it was but you see me laughing in the ring. Like, if you ever watch that match, you can't just look at me. I'm laughing. Like, I can't believe this is happening right now. We try our best to make it like a great match, So it was one of those, 1, 2, 3, we left, and we just drink beer and have a good laugh.
I'll definitely watch that tonight. I got the app, so I'll check it out again. But I just remember being there, and I just thought, man, this is a good match, and they're just doing the best they can. But it would have been cool to see the actual cage.
Yeah, especially the FNW style. I was really hyped up, but they told me, we don't got the cage, so we gonna do this. And I'm like, only Vince Russo could come with some ideas with this.
So,
now you
made what was it like working with Vince Russo, and then I guess kind of to the point where you heard Hogan was coming in? Like, what was your initial reaction to when Hogan was coming in?
I think it was cool, it was really cool. Vince Russo, he's really a cool guy. I never had problems with him. It just was that one time that it was live TV, and I got so close stuck in the cage, and I was supposed to feud with Jeff Hardy. And I don't know what happened after that. Vince Russo was I guess the promoter of the ideas, and he just changed the ideas. And after I became very miserable, like I don't want to be there no more. And Hogan, he had a different vision. He didn't care about the X division. He didn't care about some of the guys in the company who made that company real good. He wanted his way. He wanted to change because he said he knew Vince McMahon. He knows how to compete with him. So let's go to Mondays and compete with him. I think that was a bad idea. I always remember when we had a meeting, me and Bubba was looking at each other like, yeah, they're going to mess it up. And that's what he did. If you look at Impact right now, that's all Hogan's era of the destruction that happened. It's very bad because right now Impact Wrestling, they got great talent, that company, but the company pursue whatever it's called, like, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling that network at all.
So whose idea was it to go to Monday night then? Was it Hulk Hogan's idea to move to Monday night? Was it Eric Bischoff? It was Hulk Hogan.
It was Hogan because he knows Big Screen Man. He knows everything. Like, you're going to mess up. And it did. It became a failure. I guarantee you, Big Man was laughing. Like, now, he did the come on Monday? Okay.
Now, you mentioned that you were absolutely miserable at that time. In your run in TNA, it's rumored that you asked for your release for more than a year before they gave it to you. Is that true?
No, that's not true. I was just basically doing stuff that I should not be doing, like stealing cars and going to Universal Studio, doing my job. I was being very unprofessional because of my bitterness, because I didn't like the way the company was acting out. So I didn't care. And I always remember one of the agents called me up and told me, I'm so sorry, but we got to release you. And I said, okay. And they're like, for real? So, yeah. Oh, thank you. That was it.
Yeah, because, I mean, there definitely seemed to be like a de-push of the X division around that time, and then just they weren't using you.
No, they wasn't because I don't know. I was maybe some kind of a heat magnet. I don't know. I listened to all my bosses. I just didn't like the way the company was going. We was going like a right direction, but they want to go to a different direction. And everything I heard, it was just trust me. And all the original bosses that left for no apparent reason, and it just became a headache after that. It's like I want to go play and have a new challenge. I already learned the TV, the national television for like 6 years. Now it's about the time, and have a new challenge. My new challenge, Return of Ring of Honor. But that was also a mistake because I was hurt. I didn't tell nobody. And my performance was really weak. I didn't like my performance when I returned to Ring of Honor. It was really bad.
And then you kind of came after the second stint with Ring of Honor. You came back to TNA, and kind of like talk about how that came to be in 2013.
MVP. He was doing a project called Beatdown Clan. Basically, we love the Wu-Tang Clan. We want to make it a wrestling kind of style. And at the time, I really had a bad shoulder for like 9 years. I went to Mexico, and my rotator cuff got torn. And they told me, yeah, you need surgery. I told MVP at the time that I need to get surgery. He just told me, just come, just do this for a little while, and let's see what happens after that. All right, so I did it for a couple of times, but my shoulder just gave up on me, and I took like a year off. I had surgery, and I left TNA once again. But the one thing about TNA, I left in good terms. I never left in bad terms.
What was it like working with Bruce Pritchard back then?
I liked him. He's cool. I never spoke to him. I spoke to him at MLW, and you could tell that he wants people to be coachable and also to listen. So I listen because that's the way I am. I like to listen because I want to pick people's brains what's going to happen in the next 20 years because I want to make my own promotion. So he was really cool, down to earth. I heard a bunch of rumors about him. He's like a basement man guy. He don't care about, like our style. He cares about going to climb the Brooklyn Brawler, like ridiculous stuff. But it wasn't true because, I was listening to him. He was really cool, very respectful. Never had a problem with him.
And, as far as the beatdown plan, I feel like he kind of just got derailed pretty quickly because of probably some backstage politics. But, I've heard Chavo in interviews say John Geberk wasn't, what he was back when he knew him. And, MVP, he didn't really care to work with him. How was John Geberk with you?
Ooh, I met him like maybe 3-4 times. He just looked at me. And he told me, what is your favorite movie? I told him, Goodfellas. He says, who's your favorite character in Goodfellas? I said, the guy who played Joe Pesci. And he's like, but why? Because I'm really like that. If you piss me off, you're going to find out. He would start laughing. And after that, I never spoke to him again.
Now, what about Billy Corgan?
One I think.
What about Billy Corgan and the time leading up to the Anthem buyout? What was it like at TNA during that period of time?
I never spoke to Billy Corgan. I heard a bunch of rumors. I was like in my corner and just basically listening to guys like MVP or Samoa Joe, because everybody wanted to leave. Nobody after when Hogan left TNA. It was more like there's no future with this company, so it is what it is. And Billy came in trying to fix the issues. Nobody trying to fix that company, so nobody had no trust. I never spoke to Billy myself, so I really don't know the way he is.
So, you just had obviously a pretty decent run in Impact with the new regime with Scott D'Amore and Don Callis and Ed Nordholm. How was it like working with them?
I know Scott D'Amore for years. When he did Team Canada for a long time ago, Scott D'Amore he's a businessman. He's an agent, not only a manager. At the time, it was cool. I feel it was different. It's not like the same like TNA. I always compared Impact and TNA, two different styles, two different breeds. Sanjay Dutt was also a producer. He the one who produced the OGs and the LEX feud. And to me, that was like one of the top feuds in the program. So they did great. I wish that they could have something for me and Hernandez after we left. I think it was more like, thank you, goodbye. I think it was one of those. But once again, for the third time, I left TNA, but that was like the ice on the cake. Like, I never wanted to go back to the company because of the reasons, because of the advertisement. They don't want to advertise us real good. It was all political stuff that happened. That was like more like, I don't want to come back to this company. Same thing like back in the days when Hogan came in, I need a new chapter. The reason why I came back from Impact Wrestling is because me and Courtney was talking. We want to close with LEX. I said, that's fine with me. And plus, I want to go back to TV. We went back to TV, and I didn't like the new rules. I didn't like it. So I said, let me see if good things happen afterwards. Well, I'm still alive. That's a good thing that happened.
Well, let's talk about that now, because you are still alive. And, the last time that we saw you would be Bound for Glory, Concrete Jungle match. And I'm going to tell you, Homicide, you gave me probably my favorite live experience ever. I was sitting at ringside, I had front row seats, and you walked up, and you're talking to the guy next to me as LAX is making their way to the ring, and you are telling him, man, we're going to have to do some serious smoking after this one. And and watching the match, and watching the board, and watching the spots that you guys hit, I'm going to assume that you make good on that promise. But tell us about that match, because that match was absolutely insane to watch live, and I watched the replay probably 10, 20 times since then. Yeah. And that match was single-handedly the craziest match I've ever seen in my life. How did you survive?
Everybody got hurt, man. Like everybody got hurt. He was very cautious the way he was running because the boards, it was moving, it was shifting. There was one part that I grabbed the beam to go outside and I hurt my arm. Hernandez, he sprained his back, cuts too. What else? Everybody got hurt. I think Eddie almost had a lot of concussions. Because when you get hit, it's almost like you're whiplashing to the wood because of impact. So it was one of those, like, I can't believe that we just signed this, and I can't wait when it's done. And I always remember when it was done, we had a standing ovation in the back, and I'll tease it. And September was so happy they was alive, and because that's the main thing, man. We don't want nobody to get really, really hurt, depending on their careers would be over afterwards. But that was a really insane match, and the view was so for weeks. Especially
whose idea?
Guys. I was good.
You were good. Well, you took care of yourself after the match, as we already said. But seriously,
I felt like
whose idea was that?
Oh, okay, y'all gonna do this.
Whose idea was it to have that match?
I'll be honest, I really don't know, but I was, you could say, director of the match. Like, I think this would be cool if you do this. I mean, everybody, got their ideas, but I think I put more into it. Like, I think we should do this and the superplex, and it was one of those, like, actual, it's like nothing at all.
Whose idea to just take the... Who said let's take the mat off the ring? Who said let's take the mat off the ring? Expose those boards.
Oh, it was Sanjay Dutt. He was our producer. He's a great producer. I'm not gonna lie. He told because the idea was we're gonna make the first original match. This was like weeks ago, like before that. It was November the tapings, and he was like, we're gonna think of something. It was very original. I always remember we did a house show, and he came up to me, and he was like, I got a match. It's called the Concrete Jungle, because the Concrete Jungle, it meets like the ghetto of New York. We call it the Concrete Jungle. So, okay. So he's like, yeah, we're going to take everything off. I'm like, what you mean everything? He said, basically the ring. Well, you taking the ring off, so what are we going to be wrestling? No. Meaning it's only going to be the wood. That's it. And no ropes. If you're going to put like LEX, OD, graffiti stuff, got weapons. So it's a combination of a street fight and no mats in the ring. Because the mats is like about 3 inches. It still hurts, but with wood, it hurts more. So I was like, okay, it sounds very original. This is what happens. We never practiced it. We never ever seen anything before the show. How you going to take off the mats off? If you look at the video, I'm laughing. That's my secret. I laugh every time with something. Always something's gonna fuck up. That's the first thing I do is laugh. In the video, I'm laughing, especially the rappers came in. But they got better than 10 boys when Elias came in, and all the rappers jumping up and down, and the boards was getting worse. If you see the video, I'm laughing again. Because I'm like, someone's going to get hurt. Yeah.
And even before that, when you guys did Barbed Wire Massacre 3, I believe.
Yes.
That was just awesome as well.
Yeah, man. I feel bad for LAS. They had like 2 matches that day. Nobody doesn't know that we do TV tapings. It'd be like 30 matches in one day. So those guys, they had a match, and it was a street fight. Then after that, they did like a barbed wire match. The barbed wire match, it was aggressive. And plus, that was their first time. I got an experience with barbed wire. That was their first time doing it. So of course, you got butterfly in your stomach, But afterwards, there was a very relief.
So, I mean, that kind of, you talked about it earlier, and, you were thinking, okay, maybe something was going to happen after LAX. Well, I think all of us fans were wondering what the heck's going on. Like, I don't know why they weren't using you guys after that.
Yeah, me either, man. To this day, I still don't get it. Our last match was Pentagon and Phoenix, and we had an incredible match. People loved it. Hernandez always telling me, like, they got to bring us back. They do something different. But they never did. And that's when I'm like, okay, it is what it is, We're done. We're free agents now. Now we're going all over the country, all over the United States, and just, wrestle with different companies. And that's what we're doing right now. We just had a match and just came back from Hawaii. They told me a new company in Hawaii, and we had a good reaction of people. They knew us. And after that, we're going to Dallas, Texas. We're going to do a couple of shows over there. So we're doing our thing. But, yeah, we always think about why Impact never brought us back.
Now,
business-wise, so.
There's a lot of rumors. A lot of rumors about the current LAX potentially, leaving in the next couple of months. Would you be willing to go back to Impact Wrestling as LAX, or do you feel like that chapter's closed and you want to do something different?
In my personal opinion, LAX is done. Is dead. It's good for Spirit, but I will never go back to that company. They got to pay me $1 million for a contract. I'm doing the Hulk Hogan attitude right now. but I did a lot of work. I did a lot of history. You know, I'm still thankful that they picked me. Of all people, me, years ago, I became more famous because of that company, but I feel like I need to go to a different territory, a different company, and, you know, mark a new name. LAX is still, it's like a gang. All of us still LAX. I even got the LAX tattoo in my body, you know. But if they leave, in my personal opinion, it's a wrap. They're gonna come up. They might come out with a new LAX. It's not gonna be the same. Because my personal thing is that Santana Ortiz, to me, it's like me passing the torch to them. They are the new me right now. I'm an OG. I'm a veteran right now. My days is almost done. Somebody got to take my place. That's where Santana Ortiz comes in. And if they leave, it's a wrap.
And I got to tell you, like, I was kind of, like, hesitant to really get behind the new LAX because I didn't really know much about them. But they won me over, man. I mean, they just they put on some great matches. And, you know, and then they did the stuff with you and Hernandez. So they won me over.
Yeah, man, they good. They're really good. Of course, they got a different style. I think that's why people didn't really follow because they're so used to me and Hernandez. We had a different style. You know, their style is a little bit different. They're more fast-paced, the luchadors, but they could do any styles. It depends on their opponents. You know, but they're going to be very popular if they stay or leave TNA or Impact. They're going to have a bright future. Definitely watch out for them.
If Impact Wrestling called you back for a Hall of Fame induction, would you accept?
Yeah, I would, even though I got no confidence that they will. I don't know why, but yeah, I'd do that.
Because I think you guys are for sure Hall of Famers. I don't know when, but I think it's just, you know, when's it going to be, not an if.
It's a no-brainer.
I mean, yeah, history-wise, we did a lot for that company. You know, TNA, we the first Latino bad guys, ruthless. You know, that team that don't care about nothing. We made a lot of history for that company, so I could see a Hall of Fame kind of thing, but that's the confidence I got with them. Like, it is what it is. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The one I do want, if it ever happens, is Ring of Honor. If they have Hall of Fame, yeah, I want to be there for that. I should be the first ballot. Not no third, not fifth. I should be number one.
Yeah, you helped build that foundation.
Absolutely. Like, I forgot what I spoke to. You know, like, I was the first ones that the feud maker. When there was a problem, the Homicide. Go to Homicide. I was more like the Undertaker, the way he is in the WWE. That was me. So when there was feuds like Loki, Samoa Joe, I don't know what happened. I think Loki went to Japan. His career was Japan. When he left, we need somebody for Joe to feud with. Give Homicide. After that, B.J. Whitmer. I think the only ones who then came, it was CM Punk. Me and CM Punk were just more like just out of nowhere. Let's put them together a day in there and let's see what happens. And it came out great. But I was more the few guys switched with Colt Cabana, Steve Corino, Jay Lethal, and the list go on. The Briscoe brothers.
Oh yeah, some great names in the beginning days. So okay, so you got a big show coming up. Do you want to tell the people everything about it?
Yes, I'm very shocked and very humble about this. I had 3 offers of people doing this, but this one was like the home run. Game Changer Wrestling is doing a tribute for Homicide of 25 years of wrestling, and I'm still shocked about it. They're doing a show. It's called the venue is called The Villain. I think it's owned by Viceland, the network, and it's in Brooklyn, New York. And we're going to bring a lot of top guys, first time ever. It's like we already got Low Key versus George Janela. That's the first time ever. We got Low Life Louis versus Nick Gage. Nick Gage he's the man. And Low Life Louis, he's the king of New York, of Death Wrestling in New York. So that's a good combination. I always want to bring that Lucha Libre style, the way you see it like in Chube Wrestling. So if you got a couple of cats in there, there's one gentleman that nobody doesn't know. His name is Ghost Shadow. He's like one of my students back in the days. He left the wrestling game, I think, in 2004, and now he's coming back for this show. And this guy, he's tremendous. Him at the range was the Psychosis and Rey Mysterio when there was an ECW. There was like that in Jersey Pro. So I want the fans to check out Ghost Shadow and the Range Feud and Jersey Pro. And we got a lot of people coming in. I'm trying to get the Briscoe brothers to come in, but Ring of Honor got me on lockdown with that, man. They got to stop being little punk bitches and let me get the Briscoes right now. I'm doing this thing. It's a battle royal. Basically, it's every schools, all over the country. I got the Monster Factory. I want them to come. They even didn't know that, but I'm going to talk to the head honcho of the Monster Factory to come around. A lot of people from Hog, House of Glory, Masoret School, my school, Compound. Just maybe 20 schools in New York City doing this battle royal. So it's going to be good, man. So, yeah, McGabe, Chicken Wrestling, 25 years, Homicide Score 5150. So it's in Brooklyn, New York. Do a little celebration. I never got a match for myself, but hopefully it'll be good. I know it's going to be good. I know me and Hernandez, we're going to reunite and get together. Or there's another match, Chris Dickerson versus Eddie Kingston. To me, they're like the most underrated. Those two guys should get signed. I don't know why these people are not signing these guys. But I think they're too real. They're not a yes man. So, yeah, they're doing cool stuff, man. Again, I can't wait. July 14th. If people want to check it out, just go to GameChangerWrestling.yahoo.com. I think that's the website. Just go to the Instagram or my Facebook, and I always posting up an advertisement.
That's real cool. And how's your school going?
Really good, man. Like, I got a couple of students right now. Like, I'll be training like catch wrestling, grappling. Right now we have a different location. What I'm doing right now is called the Ambassadors of Pro Wrestling. And the thing is, I got that joke from LAX because we was the ambassadors of violence. So I was like, let me do this ambassador of pro wrestling. Basically, the ambassador of pro wrestling is like the United Nations, the way they are the government. But just think about pro wrestling. Basically, people who need help, needs coaching jobs, stuff like that. That's why I come through, let them know this is what you got to do, and you want to make it big time. Because my thing is, like I tell everybody, the greatest advice I can give you is, if I can make it, everybody can make it. You gotta be a believer and have confidence in yourself. If you don't got that confidence, then you're never gonna make it. You always gotta have confidence in yourself. So I'll be telling people, man, I don't want to hear your excuses. If I can make it, you got people with no legs, man, and still doing squats and push-ups. What is your excuse? So right there, that tells you all.
Very, very cool. Well, Homicide, I gotta thank you for coming on tonight. I just thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule, and we really appreciate it. But before you go, can you say, this is Homicide, and you're listening to the HeelCast?
This is Homicide from Elliot, and you're listening to the HeelCast.
Perfect.
Fabulous,
right,
buddy.
Thank you for having me, man. Y'all in Wisconsin, how's the weather over there?
Here it's been terrible. In Milwaukee, it's like 55 degrees.
Shit.
In June.
Shit, man, that fucking sucks. We're riding around with the top down today. It's like 90.
This guy showed up. I'm sorry, 90 degrees.
Like 90 fucking degrees today, man. It was phenomenal.
Damn. Wow, well, yeah, keep it cool over there, man.
Yeah, it's supposed to get up into the low 70s tomorrow, so I guess I'll take that. But
that's not bad.
Yeah, it could be a lot better, though.
That's true, man. But thank you for having me, man.
Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Appreciate it.